Hello guys, as we have done this workflow in our previous session, so let's go to another disadvantage which we are facing here. So let's understand what is the disadvantage. So here when requester is submitting the workflow, it is going to three approvers, but these three approvers, uh, when one of them rejects it, then also it is waiting for two more requesters to take some action. And suppose if approver 1 approved it and approver 2 rejected it, so in that case what happens, it system will wait for third approver's action. So even if he approves or rejects, final outcome is rejected only. So then what is the use of waiting for third approver? It is of time waste. So this one is invalid. So in order to overcome the situation, we have to do something else. So we have to make modifications to this workflow so that when rejection happens, it should directly go to requester, or else it should directly go and stop the workflow without waiting for other approvers. So that's what we are going to modify it now. So let's work on it. So this workflow is zcust1 p1 as I have created usmd sSW rule, this T code, and here mention my ID. So zcust1 p1 create customer planet. Now here we have to check this decision tables, single value decision table. This we have developed previously. So now the issue is when we click on reject button, other work items has to get closed. So before continuing to this part, let's understand first what will happen in this workflow. So let's understand what are work items and all in a workflow. So just going to provide this brief information now. Let's do hands-on and WBC, and I am submitting one workflow, and let's check what will happen in background after submission of workflow. Now let's go to customer governance and change request because it is not configured here, and customer maintenance. Now I'm creating one customer. Let's name it as some Orient company name. So let's use it. Click on new organization, pick this, and OK. So before continuing this, let's understand what is going in backend. And I'm just giving Orient Industries, Orient company, and country I'm giving as US, postal code 103345, New York, York. Okay, I think this is enough. I'm just submitting it. So from this workflow, it this is the developed workflow for this CR type. So it will get routed to three approvers: test MDG1, test MDG2, and test MDG3. So I'm submitting it. So after submission, refresh. So to be approved by data steward, it went to three approvers now. We can go to workflow log and check the work items. Yeah, it is working as expected. But if I click on background steps, all things will come. So let's understand what is going in backend. So concept is let's when workflow gets initiated, a parent work item number will be created in SAP. So when work item gets initiated, a parent work item number will be there. Not that means here whatever we are seeing here, these every work item ID will have a parent workflow number. So let's check that one only 427350. I am just entering same thing in SWIA. Here we can see all the work items 427350. If I go here, we can see this task name is this one and top level task is this one. We ignore all this. Just see work item ID is this one and scroll right side we can see a workflow ID as well. So this is workflow ID. Now let's copy this and check this item. So this is one main workflow ID. So that means what is happening when workflow gets initiated, a parent workflow number, this one is getting created. So now let's understand the concept of workflow. What is top work item ID? So every time a workflow gets initiated, suppose we are seeing a workflow log here. So our aim is to whenever someone clicks on reject button, other processor should also get closed. Other work item should also get closed. So let's understand what is going on in backend. Now from SWIAT code, I fetched all the work items related to this. So understand these are work item IDs of the every workflow, every work item inside it. So there will be of types inside this as well. So initially when we click on submit, when requester clicks on submit button, a workflow item of work item type will get started. So this is having 427333. So that means let's go and check. Understand it has created 427333. So this is main work item for the CR, also called top work item of CR. So this is the terminology. After this work item, whenever we use parallel agent, whenever we use parallel workflow, again this type of work items will get created inside the CR. That means what is happening? We are splitting main work item into separate three different workflows here. So these three will again have three different workflow types. Let's see those here. So 42733 is main one, which is not having any workflow ID here. This is top workflow ID. So this is going and creating all these. So whatever we are seeing on the screen here, let's see 427350. So 427350, let's type it 427350 is work item dialog type. Now again this will be initiated by another main work item for it. So it is like a hierarchy, guys. uh, so if we go and see same work item here, 427350 and 427350 here, this one, it is showing as ready status and dialog step. So work item type is dialog, and then it will have a workflow assigned to it. So this is responsible, this work item is responsible for creation of this work item. That means this is parent of it. So 427341 is parent, that is this one. So indirectly again 427341, let's type here 427341. 427,341 is also a work item type as workflow, again workflow. So this is again having another workflow assigned. That means 427333. It is this one. So this main work item is of workflow type is creating another work item of workflow type, sub workflow. And then this workflow again creating for below work item. So indirectly let's see this as a hierarchy. 427, let's see this one as hierarchy. This one is responsible for initiation of this, and this one is responsible for initiation of this. So now what we have to do? So this will, so inside one sub workflow there will be multiple work items like this. Again inside main work item for the CR there will be multiple sub workflows like this. So here we are having multiple workflows 1 2 3. So like this again and again uh, there will be multiple things 4 2 7, some xxx and so on, again some work item, background steps, and all will be there, one work items, etc. And again like similarly other sub workflows 4 2 7 3 4 2, again sub workflow like that, staff work item. So similarly multiple things will come under the main CR type, this work item ID. So this is, so what we have to do now, inside badi we will have only CR number. So we have a method, a standard method which will give us that ID. We don't need to go and go into tables and fetch all of those, because it will take, it is not easy. So to understand at tables level, so let's go to SC24, and there is an important class CLUSMD workflow C request mapper. So in this class, in this standard class, SAP has given us this function get top work item by change request single. So if you check this one how it works, we can understand what happens here. So in badi we will have CR number. So here our CR number is 877. So if we give 877, we have to know what is the top work item. So I am giving 877 here, and then after execution of this we will get that number 427333, which is here 427333. So let's plan this one. So let's plan. Now we got top work item ID as that one. CL USMD workflow C request mapper. CL USMD workflow C request mapper. And then let's use get top work item by CR. C request single. C request single. Next, we will get top work item as this one. So let's use this parameter. So our primary aim is to fetch all the work items which are pending in this current work item. So these three we have to fetch, and we have to close that workflow. And merge badi has to get triggered after this code. That is our main aim. And from this we will get top work item and go back. Now our aim is to get all work items inside this work top work item. So we are having this number, and we need to know all the work items inside this, like this one, everything we want to fetch, and we keep a filter according to their status, and then finish those workflows and work items, and get that merge body get triggered, so that whenever we click on reject button, the merge body should get triggered, and the both sub workflow and main workflow should get closed at an instant. So that is our aim here. So let's go to this and check. No, let's use a function module which is provided by SAP. So SAP WAPI get dependent work items. Let's use this. This will take work item ID. Let's go and copy this 427333 and click on execute. We will get items in this result. Let's go and check. So this is work item type. B means background job, F means workflow, W means dialog step. So for our understanding, so we have to get dialog steps which are pending now. So we can fetch from W, and also we have to know its current status. So go right side and see what is the current status of it. So we have to check current status. So it is mentioning as ready. So if it is ready, we have to finish it off. We have to complete it. So to close that work item, there is one more function module provided by SAP. That one we have to use. So let's plan to use this in the sequence. And after this, we will get one by one work items. Let's to close that, SAP provided SAP WAPI work item complete. Item complete. So this one, if we go inside this, it will just ask work item ID, and if we execute it, that work item will get closed. It will get completed here itself. So let's do this. Use this. That's it. So let's use these three things in parallel. Whenever rejection button is clicked by the user, this program has to get called. So we have to use synchronous system method badi in this case. I am going to this workflow. Before creating the body, let's create a service for that. So to go to service, mdg general settings and go to process modeling, and in workflow and inside rule based workflow define service names. Let's go and maintain new service name called z mdg customer parallel reject. So this is used for instant rejection from parallel work work items. So save it and then copy this, and I will use this in synchronous system method badi. So let's go and add a new column here. So whatever it is existing now, we have to change it. So go to change, and here we have to separate this reject off, because on approval we should not call this, only on rejection we should call this. So let's duplicate this, copy, paste, and here I'm just removing this reject from here, and then here I am just removing approve, only rejection will come here. So on rejection, before completion of this workflow, after completion of this workflow, let's add this, let's add one more row below that, and here I'm completing this. After rejection, I'm I'm not closing it completely here, so I'm using something like 60 here, a new change request type, and 99 here. So I'm closing in two steps. In one step I am completing that workflow, and in another step I am rejecting, I'm closing other work items by using synchronous system method. Let's do that as uh, rej as condition alias, and rej I have to give 60 here, and parent work item it will be 20. Now rej I have to mention after rejection what should happen. So after rejection, final check rejected should be there, but before that we have to close it, close that workflow, and also we have to close the uh, workflow, and as well as we have to close the uh, rollback also. Rollback also we have to do rollback and then close the workflow. So that's why I'm not doing final check rejected so soon. Now after coming out of that, it will get merged, and then it will come outside and it will go as it is to final check rejected here. So we don't need to control uh, other things here, like completion of entire workflow and all. So merge body will take care all of those. So I am just saving this and activating. So I have to mention REJ now. I am mentioning that in non-user agentation table, REJ here, agent group 1. Here we have to choose new one, synchronous system method we have to use. If we are using this one, remember to maintain service name here. So I have created one service, right? So I am using same service now. Parallel reject and click on OK. Now it got created. Now let's go to uh, this and create a badi. So business add-ins, go to calling of system method for rule based workflow and create a new enhancement. Let's name it as ZEIMDG. Let's place it synchronous system method and synchronous system method body for rejection parallel. Now we have to create a body name and class name. So ZBI. Previously I have used this. I am just changing its sync system method and ZCL MDG sync system method. So this is the class. Now I'm creating empty implementation and empty class. So local object and this class will get created. Here let's maintain the filter value which we have maintained in the workflow. Let's add we filter. So this one instant match and equal to, and go to class and create this implementation. Yes, yes. Now add that code here which we are thinking. So that sequence of code we have to add here. We have planned this. So just copy, paste, because CR number will come inside badi. I am copy pasting it, and shift enter. We will get this. So here I am just passing IVCR number, and we are receiving this top work item. So we don't need to give like this because it is receiving state. We can directly check down. Now whatever we are receiving, we have to capture inside this X data. LV top work item ID, work item equal to this one. So that will get stored here, and then whatever we are getting here work item, we have to use this function module to get all the work items inside that main work item. So call function enter, shift enter to get all this. Now I'm just passing this one into here, and then in the items we cannot use implicit declaration. So like this we cannot do here. So let's go inside this and check the table format. So items is of SWR, WI, HDR. So this type we have to go there and declare in data LV item, not LV, LT items type table of this one. So this is a table. We have to take that one LT items here. So let's check. No errors. We don't need these two. That's it. Now these two are done. Next, what is the remaining thing? Loop add. We are getting this table, internal table. We have to go into that and do LT items, loop at LT items into data LS items, and end loop for now. Now inside this loop, so one by one we will receive work item details. So we can see here work items details will be like this. So we have to first check work item uh, status and then work item type. So let's filter from work item type. If ls items, what are these having? It is having work item ID, work item type. So let's use this, and we have to filter only work item type as dialog step and then flow type. So if ls work item type equal to w, or ls work item type equal to workflow. So we have to close pending work items and then we have to close that sub workflow to get merge badi triggered. So let's do this and if, and then here let's do call function sap wappy complete work item complete. Using this, I'm not using everything here, so we can handle this later, but work item id is mandatory. So here ls items wi id work item id I'm giving here. I think this is enough. So not only this one, uh, and in if condition another one also we have to include, and ls items work item type equal not work item type status text. Status text means, let's see here what is that status text, how many statuses are there. This is task text. Let's see, this is status text. So if status text is ready, then we have to do that. So status text equal to ready then we have to do or in process. So status test is ready should be applicable only to workflow. So and ready or ls work item type is f or else if workflow is f, so ls work items status text, just if it is workflow type s, we have to close it, close this. So I am just activating, removing do and do. Now it has to work with this code. I am just giving ev action as reject now here, so that ev action reject means 04 code. So I'm just giving this and activating. Now let's test, and also now I have activated. Let's now let's test this here. Customer maintenance, submitting one new industry customer. reject. Let's do this final step in instant. So now this should work. In internal number, and then I am giving this name as Crampton. This name as Crampton, and India. I'm not sure on region, so I am just giving this information and submitting this. So I'm closing it, log out of my ID, and I will log in with test ID. With customer, change requests and documents to be processed by me. Now I am just rejecting it. It should go to final check approved as soon as I reject. So I reject, giving some note and reject. Success. So this got final check rejected as soon as I clicked on reject button here without waiting for other approvals. So if we see workflow log, we can understand what happened in the system. So after submission by requester, it went to MDG test 1, test 2, test 3. After that, system has took all control. Whenever I clicked on reject, uh, the program which I have written got called, and that is responsible for closing of these two work items without any decision. So merge body will get triggered, and it will see one decision as reject, and it will send reject decision to others, and finally it, it will close the CR with final check rejected. So that is what we want now. So it is working fine. So remember, these are the simple function modules which we have to use in order to accomplish this requirement. Thank you.